What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm just an American guy on a journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Today, we're going to be reacting to the top 10 things you didn't know were Irish. I don't really know what to expect from this video. I'm not sure if they're mainly going to be talking about more material-based things such as inventions, or if they're also adding more idea-based things like Irish and Celtic traditions or holidays and things of that nature. But either way, this should be really interesting. This is the first time I've actually looked at a list like this for Ireland, and I'm really excited to learn about some of the things that came out of Ireland that I never knew were Irish. So anyways, guys, let's look at the top 10 things you didn't know were Irish.
Hello, I'm Simon Whistler, you're watching Top 10's Net, and in the video today we're looking at the top 10 things that you didn't know were Irish. Number 10. The tallest dogs in the world.
The Irish Wolfhound is a breed of dog that was possibly bred in Ireland as far back as 500 BC. On all fours, the dogs are about 3 feet tall. If they get up on their hind legs, they can easily go over an impressive 6.5 feet. The dogs feature in a famous Irish legend where a warrior went to visit an Irish king but was set upon by the king's wolfhound.
Okay, there's a type of dog in America that I was thinking, oh, wait, that's probably that dog. But no, that dog is not that big. That's a tall dog, man. I don't think I've ever seen those. Well, you know, I know the like Great Pyrenees, they're big dogs, right? But I don't think they're nearly that 3 feet tall, standing on all fours. That's crazy. Does anybody have one of those dogs?
The warrior killed the dog with his equipment for the Irish sport of hurling, a sort of aggressive mix of soccer and baseball, but was filled with so much remorse that he took the place of the king's guard dog. Despite their size and this legend, the dogs are actually very friendly.
I was wondering that. That's why I was asking to see if I have one.
The design of the White House.
Most people know that there have been a few US presidents that have Irish roots, including current President Barack Obama. And by a few, I mean at least half. But not only have the Irish sat in the White House, they also designed it. James Hoban was born and raised in Ireland, and in 1792, Hoban won the competition for the design of the White House. The design is very obviously based on what is now the Irish Parliament, Leinster House. Both have a triangular pediment supported by 4 round columns, with 3 windows on multiple levels underneath and 4 on each.
No kidding, I see that. Wow.
The side, with alternating round and triangular crowns above each window.
Number 8. Chips or...
Wow, okay. So the Irish designed the White House. That's something new to me.
Crisps.
In 1954, Joseph Murphy invented the potato chip, or crisp, the seasoning method, and founded the company Tato, which has grown to become a major manufacturer of chips or crisps and popcorn. The first flavor invented by Murphy was cheese and onion, which may explain why it is still the most popular flavor in Ireland. Nowadays, crisp...
Cheese and onion is the most popular flavor in our... Cheese and onion. We have something similar here. What do they call it? Oh, man. No, we have sour cream and onion. That's a pretty popular chip here in America. And then there's, what is it? What is that chip? Cheddar and sour cream. Is that it? I think cheddar and sour cream. I don't know. But so, okay, that makes sense to me. You know, the potatoes, obviously, at least the stereotype is, and I believe it is, you know, the potato is very popular in Ireland. It makes sense that that would be where something like the potato chip would be invented. All right, cool.
Or chips are one of the biggest snacks in the world, with thousands upon thousands of flavors to choose from. And it's all thanks to Joe being a good old Irish
Tato. I like that brand name.
Around with potatoes.
Number 7.
Is that brand name just in Ireland? Because I've never seen it here. Maybe it's also in the UK. I don't know, but I don't think I've ever seen that brand in America. Since that was the original, like literally the original brand of potato chip, I bet those are pretty good. I'd like to try those.
Soda water.
Robert Percival was born in Dublin on the 30th of September 1756. Percival was an exceptionally bright youth and entered Trinity College, Ireland's oldest and most highly ranked university, at 16.
Soda water.
He went on to Edinburgh University afterwards to study medicine before eventually returning to Dublin. In 1793, he became a lecturer of chemistry and later the very first professor of chemistry in Trinity. Then, in 1800, he developed soda water. What's strange, however, is that we've clearly established Percival as an intelligent guy, and yet, after developing the soda water, he suggested it be used for medicinal purposes.
Number 6.
Soda water. I've I think I've had that. Isn't that like sparkling water? I honestly don't really exactly know what soda water is. I mean, I'm guessing it's carbonated, like it's carbonated like a soft drink, but it's just water, right? What are the purpose? What is the purpose of soda water? Isn't that something that people use to clean stains in clothing, if I'm not mistaken? But they were talking about medicinal purposes. What medicinal purposes would soda water have for someone? If it's what I've tried, like carbonated water before, I didn't like it. I don't know. It was really, from someone who hasn't really tried carbonated water before, it was really weird to me but I'd be interested to know what purposes it has and serves.
A lot of English words.
English words have worked their way into a lot of languages. Being one of the most spoken languages in the world, this is, of course, inevitable. Sometimes the roots can be near impossible to spot, and at other times they can be ridiculously obvious, like the French term la télévision. But there are a lot of words you say and hear every day that you most likely have no idea came from Irish. One example is galore, which comes from the Irish golior, meaning a lot. Smithereens comes from the Irish word smiradini, but probably the most odd would be that when people say can you dig it, dig comes from the Irish word tug, which means to understand. These are just a few examples of many.
Number 5.
I started to say, when I saw the word galore, I was like, that looks like an Irish. It just looks Irish to me. I don't know why. Maybe there's some other words that start with a G or something that I picture as Irish, and that's why I don't know. That's really interesting, though, why I had that in my head. As soon as you said galore, I was like, okay, I can picture that being Irish.
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk was not just a clever
Thank
ploy
you,
built up
Ireland.
by a
I love
marketing
chocolate
team
milk.
as a way to sell more milk to children. In fact, Sir Hans Sloane first created chocolate milk over 350 years ago. He had tasted chocolate while in the West Indies, but said it made him nauseous, so he added milk and sugar to make it more appealing. By 1700, people would often go to chocolate houses instead of coffee houses, where they could choose from a range of different chocolate milk mixes.
Wow.
One last interesting fact about Sir Hans is that he lived to the impressive age of 92. For someone born in 1660, that was practically unheard of. I'm not saying that chocolate milk is the elixir of life, but that is, in fact, exactly what I'm saying.
Number 4.
They say it's pretty good for you.
Modern submarines.
John Philip Holland was a proper Irishman, born on the West Coast to an Irish-speaking family and only learning English at 18. Having been experimenting with submerging and explosives since 1858, it took almost 30 years for Holland to get a submarine built. In 1875, after emigrating to the US, he submitted his blueprints to the US Navy, who turned them down. A few years later, the Fenians took an interest in his designs. They were a group of American-based Irish Republicans, and by 1881, they launched the Fenian Ram, a basic submarine. Over the following years, Holland continued to improve his designs, launched the first long-distance submarine in 1897, and sold it to the US Navy in 1900.
Number 3.
Wow. I mean, it's crazy to think about a submarine in the 1800s. I don't know why. But that's really interesting to me. I mean, thinking of the technology back then that they just created this thing, you could like literally travel underneath the water, underneath the ocean. I mean, that's really interesting. That far, I never knew submarines were that old. I thought submarine technology was probably, I don't know, 30s or 40s or somewhere around, yeah. Maybe pushing close to 100 years at this point, but I didn't know it was pushing 150 or, well, no, 130 or whatever. Anyway, that's interesting.
3. Polar bears.
That's right, our endangered Arctic friends have their roots in Ireland.
What?
Making them the only example in history of somebody leaving Ireland because it was too hot. A recent study conducted on fossils and over 200 bears from 14 locations showed that polar bears are descendants of Irish brown bears. Polar bears share a DNA sequence with the Irish brown bear that is found in no other bears on Earth. The sequence in question is passed down by female bears and is now in every polar bear alive. However, with the onset of global warming, the habitat of the polar bear is declining, and the bears are being forced to withdraw inland. Scientists speculate that the bears will begin to breed with other bears, creating a new hybrid.
Number.
Okay, that's actually pretty shocking. Like polar bears from Ireland. That's literally something I would have never expected. And one thing that is interesting to me is I thought I remember hearing that Ireland basically had no dangerous species of animal anymore. Like I heard that any dangerous species of animal was extinct at this point on the island. But brown bears, I mean, they're not like, you know what I mean? They can be dangerous. I definitely wouldn't say they weren't dangerous. So if you guys still have brown bears in Ireland, you definitely have a semi-dangerous species of animal there. You know, honestly, if you leave them alone for the most part and you don't sneak up on them, generally speaking, you know, you're not going to have any problems probably. But a bear, yeah, that's pretty tough to fight off if you come in contact with one. You know, it's one of the things that hiking in some areas here in the U.S. you got to worry about is definitely all the bears. You know, it's definitely a thing that got to take your bear spray with you. I didn't know that would be a thing in Ireland. Polar bears. I always assumed that was like, I don't know where I assumed they come from, but I guess I just assumed they come from, I don't know, like the Alaska type area or, you know, somewhere like, I don't know, I don't even know where I thought they come from. Greenland or Iceland or something like that. I don't even know where polar bears, where do they currently live at? I don't even know. But Ireland would have been the last place. Well, probably not the last place. Africa would have probably been the last place. Southeast Asia would have been the last places I would have probably assumed where polar bear would have been from. But you know what I mean. Anyways, guys, let's continue.
To colour photography.
John Jolly was born in
I knew that.
1857 in County
I know
Offaly.
that.
He graduated with first-class honours from Trinity College in Dublin. When he wasn't busy estimating the Earth's age based on sodium levels in the ocean, John enjoyed trying to estimate the Earth's age based on radium levels in the Earth's crust. Yeah, so he wasn't exactly the most exciting guy in the world, but he did give us an unparalleled gift, the ability to embarrass our friends and family with mortifying pictures. The Jolly color process was the first method capable of developing color images using just one photographic plate. The method involved using 3 filters on a single glass plate, then using plates ruled with thin lines in red, yellow, and blue to view the photo.
Number 1. Radiotherapy for cancer.
John Jolly was born in
Him again?
1857 in County Offaly. He graduated with... Wait, not this guy again.
Oh.
There's not really too much else of interest to introduce him with this time, so I'll just tell you that he was an extremely prominent physicist and published over 270 scientific papers. The man's personal ad just writes itself, but nerdy as he may have been, Jolly did make a big contribution to medical science when he discovered a way to isolate radium and use it to fight cancer, known as the Dublin method. Nowadays, different cancers in different stages and different parts of the body will be treated with different methods, but one of the biggest steps forward in modern medicine came from the same island where polar bears took color pictures of Irish wolfhounds inventing potato chips while drinking a delicious mixture of chocolate milk and soda water, or, well, something like that.
So I really hope you enjoyed that video.
Wow. This was actually the only one I knew was the color photography. The rest I had never heard of. And some of these were like really kind of shocking to me. The polar bears, you know, and submarines going back into the 1800s. I don't know why I didn't know that, but I didn't know that they had the technology to do that back then. But this guy, man, what was his name? Hold on, here it is.
Give us an Earth's age levels in the Dublin, rated with born in 18...
Photography.
John Jolly was born in 18...
John Jolly. Okay. This guy, it sounds like he created a ton of inventions, but this guy, literally just right here, these two he mentioned, like, can you imagine how much influence these two inventions have had on the world? I mean, color photography, if color photography hadn't been invented, you wouldn't even be seeing me in color. I wouldn't have been able to watch this video in color at this point, probably. I mean, I guess sooner or later it would have been invented, but if it was invented much later, the technology would have been lagging behind where it is by a lot at this point. And so just that's to think of like how important, I mean, not nearly as important as medical inventions, but it's just how influential his color photography invention has been, to the modern world is amazing. And in so many different ways. You think about how different would it be if if everything you see this in picture or video format, because he might not have created the video format of color, but let's be honest, if he never created the color photography, it's very likely that the video format of color would have been lagging behind by a long period of time also. So that's huge. And then obviously the radiotherapy is absolutely very important to our modern medical establishment. But I thought this was pretty cool, guys. I really enjoyed this list, and I definitely learned a few things. I appreciate you stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. I'd love it if you could share other videos that are about Ireland or the Irish people that you think I'd enjoy checking out. I'm really wanting to, start learning a lot more about Ireland. I'm just looking for direction on some different places to go, such as this video. I thought this was very informative, and I really enjoy these types of videos. So if you have anything to share, please feel free to do so. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.